Hi everyone, I'm Tony Jackson. Here is your weekly reading for the 7th to the 13th of May 2018. This week we're actually going to talk about relationships, and specifically we're going to talk about contracts and agreements that form within relationships. Now, what I've been guided to do is actually shift the contracts and agreements within your personal relationships and friendships. Now, what a contract and agreement is, basically it's an agreement that you have with a certain person to actually learn and evolve with that person. Now, I do believe that most friendships and relationships that we do have on the earth have these contracts and agreements. In some cases, the contract and agreement is actually formed before you actually incarnate into the physical body. So when you're in the spirit world waiting to come into the physical, you actually have some contracts and agreements with people that you actually need to come through and work on and fulfill for your own soul evolvement, and those ones are predetermined. I do believe that you also pick some up along the way. When we're here in the physical, we do also enter into some other contracts and agreements that are also quite important, that we then learn and evolve and grow with that person, with depending on what the contract and agreement actually contains. A lot of times we're not even aware of that. I think in most friendships and relationships that we do have these soul contracts and agreements, but we don't kind of know that we have them. But what I feel is, because the soul energy wants to naturally grow and evolve through your lifetime, so really, most of our relationships are for the purpose of us to evolve and learn. Even if it's like a fun friendship, I mean, they're still going to learn on some level in that. But a lot of times I feel we choose people, relationships, friends, to help us to learn and evolve through our lifetime, because that's really what the purpose of our journey is, and the soul is always growing and evolving. Sometimes we can actually complete our agreement during our lifetime. There may come a time when we've actually completed our agreement and contract with a certain person, and then that will mean that it would be of benefit to us, not so much to part ways, but perhaps, I guess, just to move aside a little bit, so you then can allow new people to come into your life with new contracts and agreements. Now, this is because we constantly have to learn and evolve and grow. We can't stand still. And it's not to put added pressure on you, but it's just to help you to realize how everything's put together, and we choose people that are going to help us grow and evolve in whatever way that we need to. So in that case, sometimes when the soul contract agreement is finished, as I said, you would then need to part ways. It's not that you don't contact them, but they just kind of step aside to allow you to have new people to come into your life. Now, the point where you complete it may be a little bit like, okay, have we completed it or not completed? I think that's the purpose of the healing today, to kind of help us to recognize which ones are complete and which ones aren't. And even after the healing, we may just leave it up to them to work out for us. Them, I'm referring to the guides, to work out for us. So it would naturally happen without us having to do too much work as such. And it's not that we're going to ring up somebody and say, okay, it's over, our soul contracts is over because I did a healing with Tony and it's finished. It will happen naturally, I believe. So then in that case, your soul contract and agreement would be over. Then you'd kind of part ways, as I said, to let new people in. If there's a soul contract with this person, you may have it that the first stage is complete and it needs to grow and evolve to a second stage, which also this healing would take care of it. So that in that case, then what would happen, you'd be still with the same friend or relationship, and new things would start coming into for you both to work on. So that's also a possibility. Sometimes the soul contract and agreement can be finished a long time ago, and just for sentimental reasons, you feel like you want to have that person around you. But it actually could be stopping new people coming in, which actually means it's a block, because the soul really wants us to evolve and learn new things. So there'd be kind of a bit of pressure on you to keep that relationship going if the soul contract and agreement is finished, but you're still trying to, hang in there, and hopefully that you kind of hang in there where you're not supposed to. You're supposed to say, okay, our agreement's finished, I need to let new people in. Sometimes what happens in close personal relationships and marriages, you can go through a split up or a divorce, and your actual soul contract and agreement wasn't complete with those people. In that case, you may need to come back together and return with that person to complete your soul agreement. When you've completed your soul agreement, in that case, it may mean that you stay together and the relationship goes to a new level, or it may mean that you finished what you needed to do, and that will then allow you to go and have the relationship that's going to be more beneficial to you. There's many different things that can come of this healing, but basically what we're going to do today is heal and review all our contracts and agreements. Let me see if there's anything else. You could be in a relationship and it's actually finished. Well, that would be a bit difficult. I guess you'd have to, come to the realization that you are complete with that person and need to move on. See, the soul constantly wants to grow and evolve. So even if you're not quite ready, the soul might be saying, okay, we're done with this person. You need to move on and learn more things from another person. Now, I'm not saying that you need to cut off and never see the people. It's not about that. It's just going, okay, our agreement's finished. Well, that means that you'll be over here now because there's nothing left for us to do. And you end up, it's like almost like a self-sabotage if you try and keep it going when it's complete. I mean, you can always see the people, but you have to realize that your soul agreement with that person may have completed, which means they kind of sit a little bit in the background so you can allow new people to come in. I don't believe we ever really cut off 100% from anybody in our relationships. We always can be in contact, but sometimes we have to realize where they are. There's a lot of cord cutting. I've been doing a lot of helping you through cord cutting, which is cutting the negative energy between people. But this is something a little bit different. We may have done this soul contracts and agreements before. I think we've actually done it in one of the other readings, but I was guided to actually talk about it and do it again. So, and it's about a little bit about stepping into your power too, I think, as well. Stepping into your power as a soul energy, and really saying that I'm here to learn and evolve, and I'm ready to accept the new energies that need to come into my life. I think too, because the energy is kind of heightened now and it will continue to be heightened, these things are getting a little bit more particular, where perhaps in the past, in generations previously to us, you could stay in relationships and friendships for your entire life and not have to worry about this, because the energy was at that level where you kind of, you weren't really forced to, not forced, but encouraged to work that out because we were at a lower level. But now I feel that we're all shifting to a higher frequency. They're becoming a little bit more particular about these soul energies and soul contracts. So it's going to be a great benefit for us to actually work through this and kind of sort out where we're going with our friendships and relationships as far as soul contracts and agreements. So the agreements, as I said, are formulated on a spiritual level. They will be with most of your friendships and relationships. And that's what I feel we need to do for today. So let's get to it and do the healing on revising our soul contracts and agreements. Now, I feel we need to work with the higher self and the intergalactic council. Now, there are other councils that we can work with, but I feel the intergalactic council is going to help us a lot with this one, and it's going to speed it up for us. I mean, it's still going to unfold nicely. It's not that we're going to force anything to happen. It will be obvious to you what needs to happen in your life. So once we do the healing, I believe it will unfold for you over the next coming days, and you may even want to repeat this one down the track a little bit. So I feel we're going to work with our higher self and the intergalactic council, and we're going to say an affirmation or a few things to actually bring in this review of our soul contracts and agreements. I now call on the intergalactic council to review all my soul contracts and agreements, if it be for my highest good. I might repeat it a few times just till I get the right feeling. What I do, I kind of get guidance as I go along, and I hear the affirmations that I need to tell you. And once I've said it, if it clicks in my body and I feel it's right, then it will click for you as well, meaning we've really done what we're meant to do. It's my free will and choice now to call on my higher self and the Intergalactic Council. I'll say that again. It's my free will and choice to call on my higher self and the Intergalactic Council to review all my soul contracts and agreement. If it be for the highest good, I choose to reveal all my soul contracts and agreements at a soul level. It may be important to do the soul level ones, which is kind of more of a deep lesson. It's my free will and choice now to call on the Intergalactic Council, my higher self, to review all contracts and agreements at a soul level. And I send these to the light. What I mean by sending to the light, it's almost like we're giving up all our soul contracts and agreements with friendships and relationships and giving them to the light. It's my free will and choice now to release all my soul contracts and agreements to the light. And also we've got the higher self and the Intergalactic Council. I now ask for a full review of my soul contracts and agreements, if it be for my highest good, the ones that are for my highest good. I ask the Intergalactic Council now to review all my soul contracts and agreements in the light. That's going to help us. So I kind of said it for you. You might want to just repeat what I said to yourself as well, meaning it's for you. Usually when you listen to me, it's kind of done for you as well. I believe it's done for you. So you don't necessarily have to repeat it, but if you feel like you need to, go back and just listen to that bit again. But I'm going to say it again anyway. I now call on my higher self and the Intergalactic Council to review all soul contracts and agreements in the light. I surrender them to the light for review by the Intergalactic Council and my higher self. It's my free will and choice now to have all my soul contracts and agreements reviewed, sent to the light, and also the Intergalactic Councils. See, I had a feeling too, there might be some that we don't know about, so we kind of got to leave it up to them. So the known and unknown soul contracts and agreement. There may be somebody from years ago that needs to come back into your life and, complete your contract, and you go, oh, fancy coming across at you after all these years. Perhaps we never finished our agreement. Which you don't really even have to know what the agreement is. It's just about being friends with somebody and enjoying yourself, really, and you'll naturally sort of flow through your agreement with that person. And then it comes to a stage where you think, oh, I think that agreement's done. And even that will be, will be taken care of by the guides and the angels, and the council will take care of it for you. It's just a matter of agreeing today to have it done and to have them reviewed, and then we just wait and see the results. So very interesting, isn't it? I think that's all we need to do for this week as far as the healing. I might choose a card. Now I have got the Romance Angels cards here, so I might just choose a card from that. I did do six separate short videos on romance and relationship healings, and I've posted them. The idea was just to go to one that you were drawn to and ask a question, and then the card will answer. It was 6 separate readings with the Romance Angels cards that I posted a couple of weeks ago, just to help you with healing of love and relationships and help answer any questions that you might have. Oh, I can feel that healing energy starting to work now. It's starting to kick in. So while that's going on, we might have a little bit more before we finished about the contracts and agreements. I'm going to choose a card from the Romance Angels cards. What I'm going to do is I put them to my heart, as I do with all my readings, bring down a column of light through my top chakras, out through the heart chakra, and asking that this light, this light helps you to connect and bond with the cards, and you begin to get more messages, intuitive messages and guidance by doing this and connecting to them. So they become vibrational tools rather than physical cards. And it's easier to work with them that way. So the light's coming down through the top chakras, out through the heart chakra, and that's the way I like to prepare my cards for the readings. If it be for the highest good, I ask for a card that's going to help support the healing, or either that or a message that we need to know now for the highest good in love and light. Let's see what I get. Keep an open mind. Isn't that interesting? Your soulmate may differ from usual types and expectations. Yes, that's so true. Sometimes what is actually happening is we have soul energy people that are trying to come to us. I think this is where we're going with it. So it's really important for us to sort out this healing for today, which we have been doing, because the soul energies of the people that actually need to come in, it's very important for this time of evolution on the planet. So we're all going to a higher frequency, so we all need to be around those people that are going to support us at a soul level. Now, as I said before, this could be, the new people coming probably, I would say, are going to be of a higher frequency and actually are going to help to lift you as well. So it actually kind of means this is a quite important healing today. And don't forget though that some of the people that you already know, part of the soul contract and agreement maybe, but they actually shift to a higher level with you so you can actually continue your relationship or friendship. But in most cases, I feel that it'll be new people coming in. But we kind of got to be open to every possibility, and we don't often know which ones are going to come with us and which ones are going to stand back a little bit. So I don't believe that we ever cut off totally, but we do, in most cases, need to let these new soul energy evolve, or we need to let the person that's actually with us or the friends that with us, allow them to evolve to the level that they need to. So it's a big shift if we actually go into it. So keep an open mind, because you never know who might want to come into your life. And often the soul energies that are coming in are of a higher frequency, and it's going to be of great benefit to you. And we don't know. That's why I think it says an open mind. You actually don't know, because you would know. If you knew, you would have done it. So it's interesting with these healings that we don't actually know what's going to happen. So we have to keep an open mind of all possibilities on all levels, if you know what I mean. If you're looking for a romantic partner too, keep an open mind, because it's often we get guidance to do things that are quite different from the norm, and we don't follow that guidance because we think it's quite strange and something that we wouldn't have to do. But the soulmate is often somewhere where we would never have expected. So do keep an open mind. If you haven't met your soulmate, it's probably because you're not looking in the right area, and you need to keep an open mind and listen to your guidance, and actually also will be of great value to complete this healing today about the soul contracts and agreements. So I believe now the soul contracts and agreements are all up for review. We've sent it to the council, we've said in the light, we've said free will and choice, we've offered it up to the higher self and the council. Now let me just see if what we actually need to do is just allow our energies to expand, really our heart energy, it's our free will and choice to now allow any healing in the heart just to assist these soul contracts and agreements. Sometimes it's like letting more love into your life as well with these new people that are coming in at a higher level. What I'm going to do now, as a continuation of the soul contract and agreement healing, I'm actually going to bring some nice high level light into your heart energy. And this is going to accept and open up the value of today's healing and bring you results. So just accept this light in. And with this healing, there is an expansion with your spiritual growth as well. Free will and choice to accept this light as an additional part of today's healing, to accept your soul contracts and agreements. And also I feel there's an expansion that comes with this, because if we're growing and evolving with these new people, we also need to expand our energy to allow them to come in. So this light is just completing today's healing. I feel it's going into the heart chakra. Free will and choice now for you to accept this light that I'm sending you as a completion of today's healing. And I think we're done. I feel very expanded now, so that we have to expand to allow these new people in as well. An expanded energy allows these new people to come in, and just accepting some of that light that I'm sending you into your heart. And we're done for this week. Isn't that exciting? What a magnificent healing. I hope you've all enjoyed that. I feel it's one that we may need to repeat in a few weeks' time, just to make sure it's all being done and complete. So I'm going to leave you here now. I was going to give you an update on the divine directives. The The Divine Directives was the reading that I'd done 2 weeks ago. Last week was Parallel Realities. 2 weeks ago was Divine Directives. I'm pretty sure it was. I was going to give you an update, but what I feel the update would be is just allow it to come to you. It can be very personal. I got some insight into my Divine Directive and it feels very personal. So I feel I'm just going to leave it up to you and the universe to work out that one. So I'm not going to really give you an update, except I'm just going to say I'll leave it up to you and your guides in the universe to work out which way it comes to you, because mine felt very personal and I just thought I've just got to leave it up to the universe and you watching it and working it out for yourself, if that makes sense, because it will be given to you at the right time in the right way, and we just have to wait and see what happens, because mine feels, as I said, very personal and not something that you would want to discuss straight away. Mine was about my work, but it's kind of like, oh gosh, and I thought the same may happen for you. So the update is actually, I'll just leave it up to you and the universe to work out, because it's something quite beautiful and lovely, and you just need to sit with it for a while if you're actually going to get the guidance at all. As I did mention in the video with the Divine Directives, you may not even know what it is. You may not have a conscious recognition of what it is. So I'm going to leave that one up to you and the universe to work through that one, because I feel that would be a great advantage for you just by waiting for that to come through. I'm referring to the Divine Directives from the video reading 2 weeks ago. Anyway, I must leave it here now. We've gone a little bit over time, but it doesn't matter. We needed to get all that done. Lovely to spend this time with you. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. Also, I'd love if you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll be the first to receive the readings. Please comment, write any comments below where you see the reading. I'll leave my email address and also my web page. If you'd like to book a private session, you can do that through the web page or by email. Other than that, I'm going to leave you here now. Thanks to the council and thanks to the guides and everybody that came in to help us. And thanks very much to you for watching. Lovely to spend this time with you. We'll look forward to seeing you in next week's reading. Lots of love and bye for now.